I think that Ubisoft is missing the opportunity to make their game a lot more fun and a lot less repetitive. To me, Rainbow Six Siege seems like a very repetitive game. Whenever you load into a map, you already have an idea as to how the first 2 rounds are going to play out. You have an idea as to what defenders are going to be brought, and you pretty much know exactly where the defense is going to be set up. And if you're on defense, you already have an idea as to how the attackers are going to push into sight. And the higher the ranks, the more predictable it becomes. Now, this isn't really a problem, that's just meta. Players are going to play in whatever way gives them the best chances of winning. However, I think that it's a shame that Ubisoft does have a way to make their game a lot less repetitive when you consider how many maps they have developed and how many maps they have released into the ranked pool. If you include Bartlett University, there are 21 maps in Rainbow Six Siege. However, only 12 of them are in the ranked and unranked playlist. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing considering that you'd want the 12 best maps available for a highly competitive match that is expected in ranked. And I know this isn't true, but for me at least, it always seems like I'm playing the same 5 maps over and over again. Everyone, it seems like they have the same 5 maps that are played over and over again. For me, I feel like I'm always playing Outback, Consulate, Bank, Canal, and Border. And I know that's not the case. I know that whenever maps are picked, it's just random, but it just always feels like I'm being thrown into those maps. So right now when you play Siege, you have to choose between playing in ranked, unranked, casual, or the newcomer playlist if you are new to the game. And I love that we have all these options to play for different playstyles and different players. If you're super competitive, you can play in the ranked or unranked, and if you don't want to be a sweat, you can go and play in casual. However, I see a missed opportunity when it comes to the maps that are available to us. And before I move forward and start talking about what I'm going to talk about, I just want to preface that this is not my idea. I heard this off of Get Flank's Logic Bomb podcast. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I recommend that you really check it out if you're a fan of Rainbow Six Siege. It's basically a podcast hosted by Get Flanked, which I assume you know who that is. And it's centered around Rainbow Six Siege. And in one of the more recent episodes, someone mentioned an idea that should really be in Rainbow Six Siege. And it would make the game a lot less boring and a lot less repetitive. And this idea is to put all of the maps that are available in the casual playlist and also put those maps in the unranked playlist. I think that there are a lot of fun maps in Siege that I would love to play more, but having those maps confined only to the casual playlist just hurts the game. And you may be thinking, if you like those maps so much, just go and play casual. Well, no. My love for the wide variety of maps available in Rainbow Six Siege is trumped by my hate for the casual playlist. The only time that I will ever play casual is if I'm making a video over a specific operator and I need to get a short clip so I can go ahead and just finish the video. Outside of that, I do not touch it because of how terrible the casual playlist is. It's so toxic, and it's rare that you can play a casual match where you do not get team killed. Players are constantly coming and going, so it's typical that you'll play matches that are a 5v4, 5v3, 4v3, whatever. And casual matches are a lot longer. They're 30 seconds longer than in ranked matches, so if you die early in the game, you could be sitting there for 3 minutes watching someone run around the map doing nothing. I would much rather play in a game where there's a lot less toxicity, matches go by a whole lot faster, and people are not constantly coming in and out of the game. There are some very fun maps in this game that may not be the best for a highly competitive match, such as in ranked, but in a playlist where your rank doesn't matter and you're not going to lose MMR, I would love to play, Fortress, Skyscraper, or Yacht in a match where I'm not constantly being team killed and I'm not forced to watch a single player run around the map for 3.5 minutes. However, there is a problem that comes with this concept, but there is a way around it. And the only problem that I see with it is that you'd be forced to play maps like Favela or Tower in a 40-minute match, which nobody wants to do. And that's understandable, nobody wants to do that. However, coming sometime this year, it has been confirmed by Ubisoft that map bans are going to be coming to Siege. So I don't see why, if map bans are going to be available, why it wouldn't be a bad idea to put every map in the map pool. So if you're given the option to play Favela, you can just ban Favela. I understand that the whole purpose of having unranked setup was to have a way to have the quote-unquote competitive experience without losing MMR. But you can't tell me that playing house with the same rules as in a ranked match wouldn't be fun. I would have a blast, especially with the new house. So I think that if you really want the full ranked competitive experience, then just go play ranked. And I know that you're probably thinking that if I like the casual maps, I can just go play casual. And to that I say, touche, you have a point. But I seriously doubt that people play unranked so that they can go and have the super competitive experience. I may be wrong, but I think most people play unranked because they don't want to play in a match where they're going to be team killed or have teammates constantly coming and going, making the match uneven, and they don't want to hurt their rank. I think that the people who play unranked the most are there to not have a super competitive experience, but have an experience where they can have an even match with players who aren't constantly team killing them and leaving, and they don't have to worry about their rank. So I think that with the addition of the map ban system, this should definitely be the move by Ubisoft. I honestly don't see anything wrong with putting every map available in the unranked playlist, given that players will have the choice to ban certain maps. So if you're someone who just plays unranked for the super competitive experience, but you're afraid to lose your MMR, then you can just ban the casual maps. That's no big deal. And so I think that overall, this would help the game tremendously and would make a lot of players a lot happier, because I think that there would be less players who would get burnt out of playing Siege. Because if you have people who are constantly playing the ranked and unranked playlist because they hate how bad the casual playlist is, and they'll get burnt out playing the same maps over and over again. And this is me speaking from experience. For me, it seems that at least once every season, I have to go on a 1 to 2 week break from Siege because I get really burnt out playing the same maps over and over again. And I would love to play the other maps. Like I said, I'd love to be able to play Skyscraper or Fortress or even Hereford Base, even though it's an awful map. I'd like to have that option of playing that map. But playing casual is just such a bad experience, especially if you're someone who plays only ranked and unranked. But by putting every map available in the unranked playlist, this would let players experience the maps that they haven't touched since they became eligible to play ranked and unranked. And I'm being honest when I tell you that I have not played a single round of Skyscraper since it was taken out of the ranked pool, and I have always been a fan of that map. I know that it's not the best, but I myself have always enjoyed it. Fortress, that's another example of a map that I haven't played in a really long time, and while it does have its problems and isn't the best for a competitive experience, I have always enjoyed that map. So again, in a game mode that has no effect on your ranking, why not put every map in it, especially if players are getting the option to ban the maps that they do not want to play. And with the addition of map bans is also going to be coming to the ranked playlist, some could even make the case as to putting more maps of the casual pool into the ranked playlist. And I think that that's just a completely different, topic and discussion. But, when it comes to the ranked playlist, I don't see a problem with the addition of more maps if those maps are able to be banned. For example, Skyscraper and Fortress. Those aren't the best maps, but they have been in the ranked playlist before. So why not go ahead and put those in if they can be banned? However, if they do that, they do need to limit what maps are put in. Because regardless of whether or not maps are able to be banned during a ranked match, maps like Favela, Yacht, and Tower should never even be an option for a ranked match, even with the ban system. But as I stated, I think the addition of less competitive maps into the ranked playlist is a different circumstance when you consider the fact that ranked is supposed to be the absolute most competitive experience for a public game, and so I think it's different between ranked and unranked. So I can see why some would want more casual maps considering that the map ban system is coming, and I understand why many would think that it would be best to just leave the ranked playlist alone. But when it comes to unranked, I don't see why not put more casual maps into that pool. So let me know what you think. Would you like to see more of the maps available in casual come to the unranked playlist, or do you think it's fine the way it is? Let me know down below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That helps me out a lot and lets you know every time I post a video. Thanks for sticking around till the end. I'm the Senator, and as always, have a good one.